One nation, one man, one moment in history, all coming together, and for the onlookers, for those determined not to miss a second of this, there was an early start. Hours before the ceremony, a sea of people was beginning to wash over the mall, a sea growing ever deeper, ever more powerful. As the moment drew close, there were glimpses of the man and a graceful handover of a house from one family to another, a house built in part by slaves whose ghosts might have been surprised by this turn of events. After a break for coffee, the Vice President Dick Cheney taking part in spite of an injury he'd gained carrying his own bags, the two presidents processed from the White House to the Capitol building, as is the tradition, and history took over.
The President-elect of the United States, Barack H. Obama.
The formal business of becoming the head of the world's remaining superpower is quite short. There is some music. And then the Chief Justice takes over for an exchange of words that didn't go quite according to plan.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
That I will execute the office of President to the United States faithfully.
That I will execute
faithfully the office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States faithfully.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
And so to the speech, the mixture of hope and realism that he has made his own.
Today, I say to you that the challenges we face are real. They are serious and they are many. They will not be met easily or in a short span of time. But know this, America, they will be met. Starting today, we must pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and begin again the work of remaking America.
That for the American people, this for the world.
To the people of poor nations, we pledge to work alongside you to make your farms flourish and let clean waters flow, to nourish starved bodies and feed hungry minds. And to those nations like ours that enjoy relative plenty, we say we can no longer afford indifference to the suffering outside our borders, nor can we consume the world's resources without regard to effect. For the world has changed, and we must change with it.
Is America's guard about to come down? His critics say it might. He says not.
We will not apologize for our way of life, nor will we waver in its defense. And for those who seek to advance their aims by inducing terror and slaughtering innocents, we say to you now that our spirit is stronger and cannot be broken. You cannot outlast us, and we will defeat you.
We have come literally miles down the mall from the steps of the Capitol building, and still the crowds are immense. The enthusiasm is real. Millions of Americans will remember where they were as Barack Obama spoke, and many of them will be able to say, we were here in the center of Washington.
Let it be said by our children's children that when we were tested, we refused to let this journey end, that we did not turn back, nor did we falter. And with eyes fixed on the horizon and God's grace upon us, we carried forth that great gift of freedom and delivered it safely to future generations. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Those words, echoing Thomas Paine, one of the fathers of the American Revolution, will surely be remembered whether this president succeeds or fails. The first job of the new president is to see the outgoing president out of the Capitol, off to his helicopter and into his retirement. In the past, these moments have been tense. Today, far from it. The helicopter hung for a moment over Washington, and then the Bush years came to an end. The Obama years began. If he was feeling lonely, it didn't show. Just as he did on the campaign trail, he wears the cares of the world remarkably lightly. And those cares intensified at lunch with the collapse, moments after these shots were taken, of Senator Edward Kennedy, who's been battling brain cancer but was determined to be here.
This is a joyous time, but it's also a sobering time. My prayers are with him and his family and Vicki.
In the last hour, the President and Mrs. Obama have been making their way to the White House, by car at first and then, to the delight of the crowd, on foot. Americans like to respect their politicians, but this is something else. Nobody knows how it will end, but today the affection between the people and their leader is striking and real. He loves them, and for the moment, they love him back. Justin Webb, BBC News, Washington.